Out of the Cradle, Endlessly Rocking, Intolerance, 1916. In context, historical epic, director D.W. Griffith, writers D.W. Griffith and Anita Lewis. Stars Vera Lewis, Ralph Lewis, Constance Talmadge, Lillian Gish, Mae Marsh, Robert Herron. Before 1914, Italian director Giovanni Pastrone makes Capria. Makes Cabiria an early feature-length epic. 1915. Griffith's The Birth of a Nation is the first United States feature movie but sparks controversy with its racist content. After 1931. Griffith's final movie, The Struggle, his second sound feature, is a box office failure. It is a semi-autobiographical tale of a battle with alcoholism. One of the most influential movies ever made, Intolerance is truly epic in its scope with elaborate sets and countless extras. It is not the first movie to use techniques such as camera tracking and close-ups, but director D.W. Griffith used them with such mastery that many regard him as the father of modern movie making. The movie was born in controversy. Griffith's previous movie in 1915, The Klansman, came to be called The Birth of the Nation, and was the first full-length feature movie made in America. Its innovative techniques foreshadowed those used in Intolerance. It was a hit, but was condemned by many for its overt racism, glorifying slavery and the Triple K. Its commercial success, however, bankrolled the cast of thousands required to make Intolerance, which lost as much at the box office as The Klansman had made. Some critics describe Intolerance as an apology for an earlier movie, but there is nothing apologetic in its ambition and scale. In the picture below, the central courtyard of Babylon was recreated with a life-size set. More than 3,000 extras were employed for Belshazzar's lavish feast. 4-part drama. 4 stories of intolerance spanning 3 millennia interweave through the movie, each with a different film tint. They are linked by the ever-present image of a mother played by Lillian Gish rocking a cradle to symbolize the passing generations. Captioned, "Out of the Cradle, Endlessly Rocking," suggests that nothing changes. The first of the 4 stories focuses on the conflict at the fall of ancient Babylon, fueled by the intolerant devotees of 2 warring religions. The second tells how, after the wedding at Cana, Christ is driven to his death by intolerance. The third tale depicts St. Bartholomew's Day massacres in France in 1572 when Catholics massacred the Protestant Huguenots. Final stories of 2 young lovers who are caught up in a conflict between ruthless capitalists and moralistic striking workers. Griffith is clearly on the side of the lovers who are hounded by the type of social reformers he clearly equates with those who protested against the Klansmen. The 4 stories are intercut with increasing rapidity as the movie approaches its climax, racing chariots in one story cut into the speeding trees and cars in another. This effect was achieved almost entirely in the edit, since Griffith shot the sections chronologically. To some critics, the effect is almost symphonic, while others find it tiresome. But there is no doubt that this cross-cutting and use of the edit was to prove hugely influential. Other technical innovations we now take for granted include dissolves between scenes and the fade-out. Most significant of all, perhaps, was the close-up. The full-length shots of earlier movies called for an exaggerated pantomime of acting to convey the story, but as Griffith said, the close-up enabled us to reach real acting restraint, acting that is a duplicate of real life. D.W. Griffith, director. Born on a farm in Kentucky in 1875, David Llewellyn Warwick Griffith was 10 when his father died, leaving the family in poverty. After several years of stage work, he got an acting job for a movie company in 1908 and was soon making his own movies, some of the first ever made in Hollywood. He set up his own company to make The Birth of a Nation, whose racism caused protests and riots. Griffith made about 500 movies in total, but his career entered into a downward spiral after Intolerance. He died in 1948.